There's always some smell. Across regions and loved by others. Chinese Cantonese cuisine is not only a cooking style. It is the attitude towards food. Shunde, an important birthplace of Cantonese cuisine. Food is a common gene passed down from generation to generation. Where do Shunde people go? Where there is the best taste. After Xiaohan, Shunde, located in the south of China. The vegetation is still lush. In the vegetable field by the river, the seeds sown 3 months ago ushered in harvest. Zhou Shuanxiang's family has 1.5 acres of vegetable field. While it's sunny, he and his wife should hurry up. Head vegetable. The expanded root can be made into delicious food in 4 seasons. Also known as gelato. This northern pickle raw material, it has a special position in the eyes of Shunde people. It is called Shunde abalone. Before going to the table, head vegetable goes through multiple processes. After a week of drying and dehydration, soak in salt water for 12 hours. Pickled and delicious. Then continue to dry. So repeatedly for nearly a month. Under the action of salt and sunlight, some sulfur-containing compounds in head vegetable gradually decompose. This pungent substance, replaced by the salty smell after pickling. Head vegetable is an indispensable cooking ingredient in Shunde kitchen. Cook lean and fat pork until well done. Add peanut oil to head vegetable. The oil temperature exceeds 200 degrees Celsius. Throw the head vegetable. Heat each head vegetable evenly. The surface is rapidly cooking and produces aroma. Heat quickly with high fire. Head vegetable crisp, tender and delicious. Dissolve the fat and greasiness of pork. The special flavor of head vegetable makes it the most versatile side dish. Even without any partners, cut into small pieces and eat directly. It is also the most delicious dish on the table. Head vegetable is easy to carry. It can be preserved for a long time. For the vast majority of Shunde people, the taste of head vegetable is the taste of Shunde. Shunde is a famous hometown of overseas Chinese in Guangdong. There are more than 400,000 overseas Chinese. It is distributed in 56 countries and regions around the world. The kapok on the branches began to bloom. Wherever you are, Shunde people have to go home. Tomb sweeping day is coming. Offering sacrifices to ancestors during the Qingming festival. The custom of Shunde people must sacrifice with roast pigs. The history of roast suckling pigs in Guangdong. It can be traced back to the Western Han Dynasty. For 2,000 years. Continuous improvement in inheritance. gradually formed a classic taste. "50 kilograms whole pig roast. Knife work is very important. Cut too shallow or too thick with a knife. Not easy to taste. Cut too deep with a knife, will pierce the epidermis. Affect appearance. Spread salt and sugar evenly on the meat. Marinate for an hour. The barbecue takes 3 times. First, dry the water in the pig skin slowly with a mild charcoal fire. Bake until 4 ripe. With a special brush, prick holes evenly on the pig skin so that liquefied fat exudes. Prevent skin and meat separation. The furnace temperature rises to 400 degrees. Start the second barbecue. Moisture and oil in skin. It is expanding rapidly at high temperature. When do I take out the roast pig? We need to rely on experience to judge. Brush cold water. Prevent the pig's skin from burning in the next round of baking. Finally, reduce the temperature in the furnace. After another hour of baking, ripen the whole pig. Burst holes in baking. Form uniform vesicles. Make the skin of roast pig crisp. Sesame skin and golden yellow are the criteria to measure whether roast pigs are qualified. In the eyes of shunned people, the significance of roast pig has gone beyond the scope of food. It implies gratitude and awe for the ancestors and the wish for the continuation of the family. Lingnan has been far away from war since ancient times. A stable clan settlement has been formed. The Ancestral Hall is the center of the family. It is also the spiritual belonging of every family member. Now there are more than 300 ancestral halls in Shunde. They are still the oldest and most dignified buildings in the village. Chengguangjian 88. Every year, Qingming returns to his hometown Shajiao from Hong Kong. Familiar taste. Awaken the old man's childhood memory. Chen Guangjian has been working hard in Hong Kong for more than half a century. Build your own business step by step. Half a lifetime of hard work in exchange for a solid family business. He firmly believed that this was the blessing of his ancestors. On Qingming Day, 20,000 descendants of Chun from all over the world worship their ancestors together. Eat sugarcane. Show strong teeth in front of ancestors. Let people look forward to a better life when they miss the dead. In the Pearl River Delta, ancestor worship is the most solemn family gathering of the year. Family history and ancestral deeds. Young people learn from genealogical records and the stories of the elderly. A large banquet is under intense preparation. Roast pigs are purchased with funds raised by everyone, a variety of roast pigs. It shows the prosperity of the family. Thousands of people sat around the table in the Ancestral Hall. Shunde during the Qingming festival. It can be seen in every village. The morality of respecting the old and loving the young in traditional villages. Family affection. It was shown at this moment. Carefully processed head vegetable. Draw a full stop of Qingming for the people who are about to leave their hometown. For Shunde people, it's not just a delicacy, a taste. It is also the memory of childhood and the longing for hometown. Huang Yuerong returns to his hometown Junan. She is good at making Nanyang-style dishes. This reveals her extraordinary experience. Huang Yuerong arrived in Singapore at the age of 16, with their own cooking skills. Working as a maid in a Chinese family. There were a group of young women in Shunde. Like Huang Yuerong. Live by working hard. Outside the traditional marriage. They curl their long hair. Swear never to marry. Called Zishu and V. They are also honored as Ma Jia by local Chinese. 100-year-old Ouyang Huansong and Ouyang Huanyan sisters. He used to be Ma Jia at the home of former Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore for decades. Zishu and V who have been wandering all their lives. Back home. What I miss most is the white porridge in my hometown. Porridge is simple, but the best test of cooking skills. Add peanut oil and stir repeatedly. Let every grain of rice be stained with grease. It's easier to bloom in boiling water. You can see rice flowers, and will not lose the freshness of porridge water. Master the concentration of white porridge. It implies an understanding of the characteristics of rice. Ordinary and simple porridge is full of creativity in the hands of Shunde people. Adding meat to porridge is an innovation of Lingnan people. Quickly add it into the water and it tastes smooth. It tastes better when stewed for a long time. A bowl of rice porridge with excellent ingredients and rich taste. It makes people feel very comfortable. Wu Guobao, 70. Looking for the deep taste of memory in the streets of Shunde. He was born in Shunde. Although I have been living overseas. But he still likes Shunde food. Wu Guobao found that the hot pot here is different from other places. Porridge is the base of hot pot. Fragrant rice is selected for storage for 1 year. Qing Yuan chicken. Remove chicken bones as raw materials. Boil into soup. After filtering the soup, add fragrant rice. Stew over high heat for 4 hours. The rice became invisible. Then filter out the remaining rice residue. Put mellow rice juice and fresh and sweet chicken soup together. Ready to make the ingredients more delicious. Use porridge as base material. Pay more attention to the order of adding ingredients. Add seafood and scallops first. Then add fish, meat, and vegetables. Let the delicacies stack together. The porridge water is viscous and lubricating, instant wrapping of ingredients. While maintaining the original flavor, it also makes the food taste more smooth.
尝一下这个皖鱼吧。
皖鱼啊，皖鱼是我们顺德人最喜欢吃的鱼啊。
Porridge water with a variety of ingredients. It has a special taste. No matter how far you go, the flavor of hometown always attracts people towards home. Magia was old, experienced many things, faced many difficulties. Only plain white porridge is always accompanied. The smell of hometown can remind the old people of the past. The taste of hometown cuisine. It often surprises young people. Chun Longhui came to Shunde more than 10 years ago. He is an industrial product designer. In addition to finding a job suitable for your own development, he also found a kind of food that he never tired of eating. This rice noodles is another innovation of Shunde people on rice. Grind the fine rice paste with a stone mill. Manual rotation, no more than 60 revolutions per minute. Do not destroy the vitamins, proteins, and enzymes of grains. Preserve the unique rice flavor. Longhui went back and forth to the place where rice noodles were made countless times. An accidental discovery brought him design inspiration. Stone mill, a production tool that has existed for 3,000 years. It is a breakthrough in the fine processing of natural food materials. Today, with the rapid change of science and technology, people still believe that this traditional tool can better preserve the natural flavor of food. Chun Longhui introduced the extrusion principle of stone mill into the creativity of juicer. While trying to improve the juice extraction efficiency, preserve the taste and nutrition of ingredients. Chun Longhui, who has been in business for 10 years, has put more than 200 designs into production. The century-old stone mill of Chun Cun Fun store is still turning. Chun Longhui is still a new Shunde who likes rice noodles. Among Shunde's 2.5 million permanent residents, half of them are from abroad. They came to Shunde with their own ideals. Life circumstances and changes are unfolded quietly. A few months ago, the Zhang shooting family moved to Gulang village. Because her husband's job changed, Chu Ting can't tell how many times they moved. Chu Ting is from Maoming, Guangdong. I worked in Shunde in 2007 and got to know Lao Liang. After marriage, she stayed in Shunde with her husband, become a new immigrant to the city. People from different geographical backgrounds form families, which means more running in. And the most energy is always spent in seemingly subtle places. For example, 3 meals a day. There are more than 300 kilometers between Maoming and Shunde.
因为我们家乡那边鱼也很少，没什么鱼塘。以前我都不喜欢吃鱼，来到这边，因为他经常煮鱼，他一天不吃鱼，他说他头晕。
In order to make Chu Ting like nutritious fish, the husband thought a lot of ways. People who don't like freshwater fish, because I can't accept the fishy smell of fish. This is caused by algae secretions attached to the fish. The closer to the bottom the fish grow, the heavier the smell. Lao Liang deliberately chose bighead carp living in the upper water. The meat is fresh and sweet. In addition to choosing the species of fish, he also thought of another way. Heat pork over low heat and cook chicken with pork fat. Amino acids react with sugars at high temperature, produce a strong meat aroma. The water content of fish itself is the main source of fishy smell. Fry to remove excess water and fishiness, while solidifying soluble protein. Make the fish delicious and smooth. During stewing, chicken and fish release soluble amino acids and nucleotides. Let the fresh taste multiply. Lao Liang's technique comes from local home-cooked fish. Cook the meat and fish together. It was originally used by fish farmers to celebrate the harvest. Lao Liang added chicken again. Taste and nutrition have become better.
我喜欢那种男人在家做饭那种感觉哦。印象最深的就是我生我女儿的那1个月，都是他在照顾我，都是他在煮饭给我吃。
Delicious food always develops and continues in the heart. Bring warmth to life. On the other side of the city, Liang Xiaoqing is also making delicious food. She is trying an unconventional way of cooking. The kitchen is full of electrical appliances. Many manual operations in the past were performed by machines. As long as the program is set, you can get delicious food within the scheduled time. A generation growing up with the development of industrialization, I got used to working with machines earlier. Baking, which is essential to the daily diet of Western families, has a very different emphasis from traditional Chinese cooking.
做烘焙的这个过程中，我们可以有很多细节的一个体验。它并不能取代传统的那种烹调方式，但是我认为它会是我们生活的另外一种惊喜。
Bake your own charm. And the foreign culture it represents attracted many young people. Like other emerging lifestyles, the younger generation will always be the earliest recipients. They are the new forces of the city. Whether growing up in Shunde or returning from studying abroad, or work here from a different place, have found their own development direction here. Leon Xiaoqing grew up in Shunde. After graduating from college, he returned to his hometown, has been doing international sales in local household appliance enterprises. They are a generation that has been changed by the times. Working in an office building, live in a modern community. However, more people carry traditional genes to the next generation. Weekend. Chu Ting takes the children back to her mother's house. The ripe fruits in the yard bring sweet surprises. Mother is busy in the vegetable field in front of the house. After her husband died, she spends most of her time here. And every weekend is the day the old man looks forward to. It coincides with the Dragon Boat Festival. Zongzi is essential for tonight's family party. Chu Ting decided to use this moment to teach her 5-year-old daughter to make zongzi. Marinate the pork to give it a flavor. Bring more rich taste and nutrition to each zongzi. Each family uses different materials. For children, mother's teaching is the most authentic formula. Taste and tradition have been inherited in this way. Lao Liang is still the chef. He knows the preferences of everyone in the extended family. The improved Yutangongmen fish is still the main dish. Besides taking care of Chu Ting, this is also a favorite dish of the whole family. The children still have a long way to go. The cultivation of taste should start from now on. When you grow up, wherever they go, Shunde taste is the same stubborn memory as hometown.
我喜欢一个家庭聚在一起那种感觉，我不选择住的地方，我也觉得钱多钱少都无所谓，经常可以跟父母吃吃饭啊，这样子我就觉得很满足。
Shi Jianbin is called the second brother. Spent most of the decades on the road. Wherever you go, in his suitcase, always bring something.
哦，真正的缘起生命啊！围着那个毛包啊。
This is an island 2,000 kilometers from Jakarta. The second brother went deep into the tropical rainforest for his timber business.
呀，3几米左右，这个树，这个直径这边的直径，它大概有80公分啊。
More than 200 years ago, Shunde people have begun to buy wood in Southeast Asia. The second brother can choose good wood accurately. The wood will be transported back to Shunde, become the raw material of furniture. The second brother likes delicious food very much. The intersection of multiple ecological climates create Indonesia's rich products and unique food culture. It is rich in spices, pepper, curry, cloves, and cardamom. Cooperate with each other. Create a spicy foundation for Indonesian cuisine. The second brother is a regular customer of this Chinese restaurant.
其实这个螃蟹呢，如果在我们顺德做啊，就清蒸就好吃。
Every time I come, I always exchange cooking skills with the shopkeeper, helped improve several dishes. The restaurant business is booming. They also became friends. This is a famous fishing port here. Every morning, the catch just going to sea is transported everywhere. If you go early, you can buy fresh seafood. Local ingredients inspired my second brother. He will use his hometown cooking method to make Shunde cuisine on the table.
跟我差不多啦。
Indian Ocean crab just out of the water, no longer wrapped in curry pepper. Put the onion and ginger into the hot oil. Stimulate the taste of the ingredients themselves. The second brother finally took out his private possession.
这是我们顺德的特产，这个真的香的吗？对，我跟你说了，这个我现在已经很多人拿到去加拿大、香港、澳门、新加坡，好多人叫什么？鲮鱼干。
Add shredded ginger and sausage. There are hundreds of ways to eat dace in Shunde. But after leaving Shunde, only dried dace. It can alleviate people's yearning for their hometown. After the Double Ninth Festival, less rain. Whenever the north wind blows, people know it's time to dry dace. Clean fresh dace. Add salt to precipitate water. After curing and drying for a day, then add black bean sauce to season. Drying in the sun can fix the fragrance. Just steam for 10 minutes can stimulate the smell of dried dace. Entertain friends with hometown food. It has become the habit of the second brother for many years. According to Shunde people, cooking in person is the highest courtesy to a friend. The second brother took this habit to a foreign country.
现在给我。
再来。
好。美食给我带来的财富，我说的财富不是真正的金钱的财富，是我的人缘的财富、朋友的财富。
Back to Shunde. The second brother is going to cook a traditional dish. This dish is rarely handmade nowadays. My brother started to study as a second chef at the age of 13. In the decades of timber business, There are several unique skills left all the time. According to the teaching of the older generation of Shunde chefs, making pheasant rolls is his proudest craft. Pork 30 centimeters in diameter. The fat near the pig skin is dense and compact. Cut it as thin as paper and don't allow any damage. This is the key to making pheasant rolls. Although the knife technique is not as skilled as it used to be, but this does not affect the second brother's confidence. Marinated in local chew wine. Not only reduce the fat of pork, it can also increase the aroma of wine. Starch covers the pork with a protective film to lock the taste and produce crisp effect after frying. Cut lean meat into thin slices. Egg yolks retain moisture. Steam over high heat for 20 minutes. Cool and cut into pieces. Fry twice, crisp outside and tender inside.
这是你这一段时间做的最好的，很久没有吃到你这个味儿了啊。
The second brother has to fly to the next destination. I still carry the dried dates from my hometown. And Shunde gave him superb cooking skills.
不懂英文，我也不懂印尼文，东南亚国家跑了8年，到哪个岛都有朋友。
Foreign travel always brings different taste experiences. The second brother is like this. Along too. Along is from Belgium. Working and living in Shunde. As long as you have free time, he likes shopping to find delicious food.
Hey, 你好。
这个什么来了？
沙鹅。
烧鹅。
Roast goose is an ancient delicacy. Along had good luck today. Found the most popular roast goose shop in Shunde. From mobile stalls to fixed shops, brother and sister-in-law Hua have been making roast geese for more than 30 years to make a unique taste. Each link needs to be carefully made. The naturally bred Magong goose is full of fat. The meat is fresh and tender. Spice blending is the key to taste. This is the core secret script of sister-in-law Hua. Add 50 degrees chew wine into the goose's belly. Marinate for 3 hours. While adding flavor to the goose, keep the ingredients fresh. Put the goose in hot water. Tighten and shape the skin. Then cool it with cold water. Remove excess grease. Maltose cooking at high temperature. This layer of sugar is baking. Bring color and luster to the roast goose. For more than 700 years, the roast goose in Lingnan area has always used wine. One's dome gathers heat. Heat the goose evenly. Bake at high temperature for 1 hour. The skin of roast goose presents the appearance of red agate. The marinade turns into mellow juice in the belly of the goose. This is an indispensable dip for roast goose. To ensure quality and flavor, no more than 30 roast geese are produced by brother and sister-in-law Hua every day, starting at 6 a.m. It won't go on sale until evening. Aaron first came to Shunde. I also make a living by making a kind of hometown food. Chocolate making was his old line in Belgium. With this skill, Along had his first stable income in Shunde, which advocates delicious food. And what really made him decide to settle here? In addition to new development opportunities, it's because he fell in love with the food here. Today, Aaron wants to entertain his friends. Not a good chocolate. It's a new Shunde dish.
哎，你们还没有到啊？
没有到，我们为什么？
快点！
Along likes to cook by himself. Among the several Shunde dishes learned, what he likes most is the drunk goose. Drunk goose is a common farm dish in Shunde. Frying makes the goose surface coating, lock in moisture and fragrance. The next step is the most critical. Add homemade sauce. After adding a whole bottle of red rice wine. All cooked with rice wine, without a drop of water. So it is called drunk goose. Alcohol volatilizes and ignites under the action of heat. Let the double flame wrap the goose in the pot, and the amino acids will be released continuously. Full of wine. For Along, through delicious food, I not only learned about Shunde, it also made him make more friends.
在順德我們說吃多一點，食多啲，食多啲，食多幸福。
Xingtan town, 5 kilometers apart. Lua Wyman is also going to entertain German business partners with drunk geese. More and more foreigners come to Shunde because of business. Drunken goose, a farm dish with Lingnan cooking personality, is the most distinctive business card.
牵起它的红豆盖啊！哇，你看，这个味道就出来了。哎呦，我们很多生意呢，其实，在美食的不断的一个交往过程里边，大家加深的了解，那生意也会做起来。那大家许多的训练会随着交往的时间越来越牢固。
Different languages. Food is the best medium.
这样你看，中间是有汤的，要轻轻，对，把这个汤吃进去，这个汤的味道是非常浓的，对。
Seasoning with red rice wine is the taste sign of many Shunde dishes. Except drunk goose, you can also make drunken crabs. The core secret comes from this kind of black bean flavor rice wine produced in Shunde. It is a unique product in Baijio. The aroma of wine comes from an unimaginable raw material. High temperature steamed early rice, mixed with broken jubing. A large number of molds inhabit in jubing, convert the starch in the rice into sugar. Yeast turns sugar into alcohol. To get a unique aroma, the most critical raw material is about to appear. Choose the fattest pork with the thickest back and cook it in boiling water for 20 minutes. Then cool with cold water. Prepare for wine making. As early as the Song dynasty, people used to make wine from mutton. The pork brewing in the late Qin dynasty was the patent of Lingnan people. Shunde still retains the ancient brewing method. This is also the taste habit of Shunde people. Cooked pork will stay with rice wine in a pottery jar for more than a year. The year of soaking directly determines the presentation of wine aroma. The longer the meat is stored, the more attractive the aroma can be released. The pork is golden in color after a long time. They will be transferred to 30-degree rice wine. It's time for the aroma. The fat structure of pork has become fluffy. It can absorb the peculiar smell and impurities in rice wine. Fatty acids, glycerol, and aromatic esters together form the aroma of wine. The rest is up to time. After 30 days, red rice wine will appear on the dining table and kitchen of Shunde people. The wisdom of brewing has been handed down for thousands of years. The discovery of black bean flavor. Add vitality to it. Integration, change, and inheritance. In this land cycle, never stop.
Hello. 好多美女。
Along has lived in Shunde for 8 years. He gains his career and friends here. Build your own family. Delicious food shortens the distance between people. Let him quickly integrate into a foreign country.
我爱顺德，而且我喜欢中国菜。每次回来这里，感觉我回家了。可能过20年、30年，我还在这里啊。
Weekend. The shooting family still need to prepare the ingredients. Go to the old man's house for a reunion. The second brother started a new journey again. This time, he brought another kind of hometown delicacy to his friends.
我每次一吃到这个大头菜的时候，我就想到自己回到家一样，我在顺德一样。
After the Mid-Autumn Festival, it's time for head vegetable to sow again. 500 years ago, when the ancestors of Shunde planted small brown seeds, they don't think of this ugly plant will carry such rich emotions. The food of a place bears the mark of hometown, passed down from generation to generation.